Holden Cross versus Apollyon. An interesting case of fighting potential, especially one being the case of one of her technical lapdogs and trusted cases of warriors. A great lawbringer, leader, and a very passionate and prideful man on the means of redemption for him and others, and being able to guide the people of Heathmore to better means when it comes down to the case of their destiny, the means of possibly gracing some greatness in the grand scope, and most importantly, being a man that has been standing on the business of being the best man that he could be, with a great take of wisdom, will, and most importantly, honor at his side. He will stand strong against evil in any sense of its place. But at the same time, in the other corner, we have a person that sparked the case of his lying to the case of his bad, then to the matter of arguable case of matter of good. Apollyon, the iconic case of warmonger before warmonger, the person that reckoned war like no other, and the person that stamped the case of matter of the grounds what it meant to be the type of girl that your boyfriend told you not to worry about. Who would win between these two cases of characters? I'm obviously your host, Amado Games. I'm going to be talking about that with this being said, talk about some considerable misconceptions that might take away the technical reasoning for a matter of this person to win, this and not, and explaining how things are like from the case of both characters. And like I said, I hope you guys will enjoy it. Let's go and get into it. Holden Cross, Dominique Show Yourself himself, the GOAT, the great lawbringer from the story mode, with a fantastic voice actor that at the same time, voice is obviously lawbringer for him being the same matter of voice in case of representation, right? But at the same time, there's a lot more to this man than meets the eye. Holden Cross' case matter early life is not the most known, but pretty much this man is a great case matter warrior of the Knights of Ashfield. This man aligned himself with Apollyon, having his demon name be kept secret to the rest of everybody else except for Apollyon, and particularly to stay with the case of his obviously birth name in the case for Holden Cross, and being a great regard of a lawbringer with the iconic case of a lion bulging to shoulders. And this man was a beast, bodying multi-case matter of people for Apollyon, and with Apollyon's ideals, wanting to set up the means of war for everybody and grow the strong through it, what is being said, to show people who they are, what is being said, for the matter of war, as war is a crucible to which we have evolved in the words of Doomfist, and she wanted to make that be full so within the matter of the For Honor combatants slash heroes, what is being said. So yeah, she has this man Holden Cross come out of nowhere to be the case of the enforcer for her, and to pretty much set up the seeds within, again, means of battle and other stuff at the same time, what is being said. So yeah, that's pretty much him in a nutshell when it comes down to the stand of how he was when it came down to standing on business with stuff. And through the story mode, as you see, this man takes in consideration a little bit of how what Apollyon is doing is interfering with the natural standard of life when it comes down to the people that fight for her, within the case of matter of killing, either disregarding the pain that they went through to try to go ahead and push the means for other people that are their enemies rightfully to be something else, like not executing a guy that killed a guy named Davis, which is just random. I guess it's a very great case matter of a warrior, what is being said, right? This man popped off on these people. He was running up through them, and then Apollyon just says, you know what, nah, we're not going to go ahead and execute the arguably most savage of them in this case, aka Ragnar. So yeah, after that, things went solid, I guess you could say. And then when it came down to the end of the night story mode, when Dumunder would go ahead and perish by the hands of the warden, this man seen the case of one of the warden's case of Blackstone reputation chains, and or the case of just the actual case of warden case Blackstone chain. This man would kind of see that what Apollyon was doing was not right, and seeing it as just nothing but faulty case of matter of killing or just trying to set things up that will lead to nothing but bad in the end in the grand scope. So that's kind of how he saw it in the end, though, with just being a case of bad that didn't lead to anything of true matter of substance in the grand scope. So yeah, in the end, this man, with the case of matter help of others, would go about the means of pushing a rebellion against Apollyon in a sense, with joining with the Ironstone Legion Civic with the help of Warden, who later on become the new Lord Warden. And then when it came down to the raid of the case of the stronghold of the Blackstone Legion, aka the Castle of Apollyon, this man would fight alongside a bunch of different people, and a bunch of different people on every side, knights, Vikings, samurai, would die. And then he would be sent out by the Lord Warden to go ahead and try to make peace with the matter of someone like Aya, and at the same time, the case of Stygander of the Warborn clan, and the same time, Aya of the case of the matter of the new samurai, and him of the Ironstone Legion. He would go and try to suggest it, almost dying by Stygander, arguably, and then they would full come together in the idea of trying to make peace, and a very cool thing. And so from there, Holden Cross will be a mercenary, be hired to do multiple different jobs within the matter of different case of cultures. As you see, this man has been with the Wu Lin, has been with the samurai, learned Japanese, obviously learned Chinese with the Wu Lin. He obviously speaks Latin, like the case of the Knights, speaking in case of the Nordic side, case of matter of almost language with the Vikings, case of matter of Greeks in their form, which being native descent of Greek, but also people that will be aligned with the Knights technically if we count the matter of the Romans, are still counted as people within the matter of the mixed bar of that, you know what I'm saying, a statement. So this man himself would basically be out here being very affluent on the case of different languages and different things like that. So in the end, Holden Cross would push to go ahead and redeem himself and take in a new means of stuff at the end of doing all this stuff. And then when he would be almost in a sense of death sense, a bunch of different case people of the matter of the important parts of the frontal lore would go and help him go ahead and find himself pretty much, and he would come back to Heathmoor to go ahead and stop Warmonger, aka Astra, who's trying to go ahead and pull Apollyon in her own right, and stop the case matter of her means within the matter of the frontal lore to cause devastation, to wreak new strength through the matter of it, and at the same time coining new ways to go ahead and be more of a menace than Apollyon ever could, especially because she has a very fucking genocidal stance since a hypothetical plan if it ever got coming into play, right? So pretty much general stuff. I'm not gonna give you all more and more stuff about the case matter of the front or the lore, as obviously y'all probably want to go in here about how he stacks as a fighter. Obviously, For Honor's lore is dog shit objectively, and is not a very big expressive case instance of lore when it comes down to power scaling or anything of that sort. So I can't really tell you what he can do pound for pound, ball for ball, paw for paw in a general sense, but I can tell you this, that he is a very obviously great warrior, and again, training with all these different people, learning to consider languages, armors, weapons, all this different record, different stuff. This man, Holden Cross, has been very vigilant about his stuff, with this being said, especially because he's working with a weapon that is still similar to a halberd, and again, like I said, to reiterate, he's very vigilant about the case instance of his different skills and different capabilities that he has been able to gain, at the same time making his own right from it. Then with the Knights originally, trained with the Vikings, Samurai, Wu Lin, and being pretty much an Outlander first at hand, especially if we talk about him in line with some Mongol drip as well. I don't want to forget about that, but I haven't full repped up. Gryphon, I'm mainly speaking about the stuff that I've seen from other players that are repped up, right? So he would go and learn a lot of different stuff when it comes up to experience. But with his general skills, again, he was one of, not the greatest lawbringer to be seen. He's very experienced. He has a lot of different case matter of skill. He has a great case instance of weapon being the Bardies, correct me if I'm wrong. He has a case of a crossbow at hand. Has been capabilities of healing himself, being a very beefy and strong man. He's able to go toe to toe with Astria, who is just a dumbed down matter of Apollyon, the record of skill. And I've already talked about how she would scale to Apollyon, shameless plug of who wouldn't fight Apollyon or Astria / Warmonger. And all around, he would just be, again, a very superb, strong, and banger-ass case matter of fighter. So pretty much it when it comes down to Gryphon, when it comes down to skill, things along those lines, what is being said. So all around, Gryphon is a very baseful and cool case matter of character, what is being said. And yeah, now for Apollyon, what is being said is a very simple character that I've already talked about beforehand, that I went super in depth with, that took a greater deal of video with Apollyon first Warmark. So you want to see me go the whole history, there talk stuff with her, and watch that. But I'm pretty sure if you obviously are a For Honor fan slash Kiss Matter person who knows about her, you know what she can do. Pretty much, she was scarred from the case of a lawbringer being a sheep and not going to protect her people when he should have, when he had the full capability to, but he was afraid of the great barbaric Vikings that ran for our people, where our people were killed, possibly raped and slaughtered from a different case account. And so this scarred girl grew into this fierce, brutacious, death stone, I'm on your ass case instance of shorty. And this shorty would go ahead and become a warden later on from the matter of becoming a mercenary, find this motherfucker, catch him lacking in the case of the lawbringer, kill him, strip him of his armor, showcase that this man is a coward, a disgrace to being a lawbringer, and a disservice to being any sense of the matter of a warrior. He wastes the air that we breathe, you know what I'm saying? So she murked him Jin Sakai style, took his armor, recoming it together into saying her warden look, and now female Darth Vader, and I say that as a compliment, is now rolling up and move for the ranks to become a lord in this sense, and pretty much running the case of the entire Blackstone Legion. And she would move about her means to set other means of war. Because she was scarred from war and grew from it, she pretty much just saw that the dawn of new strength and the means of collecting new means of purpose is for the natural stance into conflict in our species. The case of war, unfortunism, disorder in life. For the case instance of unfortunism, there grows strength. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger, and if it kills you, you are weak. You do not deserve to breathe. And through the strengthening of the world that they have, what is being said, they will go ahead and full see the greater means of themselves considerably from what she basically opposed to, within the case of matter of killing a great powerful group of Vikings and leaving scraps to win different Vikings who have to fend for themselves and kill each other and then boil the blood to the point where a new K-Sensor group comes into play, dividing the mix of the Knights to where there's a strong stamp of power with the Knights, and the Samurais killing each other would forge a new bond that will push them to be something else, what is being said. And in the end, even at her hang of different problematic, callous, and uncompassionate case instance of views, she was still right in the grand scope, because again, she was able to pull the strings of everybody, make them come together, confine them in a space where war will be the standpoint of everything that is going on, because all of them want vengeance, want the case of the glory to take down Apollyon, want a new status quo for their own arguable case instance of power pushing reasons. She literally set the seeds up for all the means of people doing things for her means of power push. So she, at the end of the day, was still right, and the idea of the predators over the prey, the conquerors over the conquered, the strongest will thrive and the weak will be purged, case this mentality was full painted and sealed and account for honor, and still to this day, even after the regards of her death, still stains for honor, as everybody comes for a means of war, conflict, and unfortunism, that more and more the facts of them being another case of wolf trying to get its meal and going in a natural selection stance of dining in battle, because it's only count of actual essence of strength that they gain in the grand scope, regardless of its revenge, taking this, pushing to defeat someone that is bad, and this one precaution to the next. She is still in full case right in the grand scope because of how single-led everything is, and in the end, right for her purpose and stand, right? So she again pull new crack case matter moves and maneuvers to do this, and even at the case matter of her end with Orochi, aka the people's champion, the GOAT, the case of the samurai's greatest warrior to this point, right? She still was in the case of her most glorious time to full see all the people that she pulled the buttons of to pull up here, full 1,000 niggas deep hypothetically, to run her shit, have a most colossal case of battle you could ever imagine. So, yeah, that's pretty much Pawn with her ideals. I've talked about her again before, so if you want to know a little bit more, so I can within the case of her character, there you go, but that's just a little synopsis. But when it comes down to her skill and her stuff like that, again, she is shown to be superhumanly moving when it comes down to her skill and strength. Choking a person one hand, even though being little than them, weighing damn near 0 digits, and most importantly, just being big Brock woman. She could be stabbed, scratched, multi-case hit, and be able to take the impact of a catapult, not full to the face, but all from a case of a wall, and feel strong. What is being said, not take any great form of kinetic energy buzz back from that. She stands strong when in case of her skill, killer intent, in the most deliberate case of vicious, brutacious, and straight up warpath case as a woman that you could ever think of. She is war incarnate, what is being said. And her skill as a warden mixed with the case of her experience as a mercenary and different capabilities, she be popping off ridiculous when it comes down to skill, and has multi-time decimated different groups and killed countless of them. She was going hand for hand with Orochi, and by gameplay mixed with just the cutscenes, she's dead even with her. Even, well, in this case, I have a female Orochi. Obviously, you can have by they, what is being said. But still, in the case of her, Apollyon, she was still standing straight up hand to hand, ball for ball with Orochi, even with Orochi being able to obviously in the end blitz her and kill her to the point where she was able to just stand there with her katana sheathed in her hand, not even an actual case shift like shit was being said, and tell her that there will be no more war, and just Apollyon, even again having a great fight and not being full case killed, she at the end was bleeding out and dying from a great deal of the wounds inflicted, and again blitz and kill her from a great deal of the efficiency that comes from Orochi in general, because Orochi again being called the case of the people of the samurai's champion, the emperor's champion, and being greater than someone like Tozen's skill, and Tozen was rocking with Raider, had the capabilities and skills of the Kaioshin, was superb in his capabilities, a case of matter of his mysticalism, his raw martial arts and great A swordsman skills was something to be admired, and the fact that the case of the people with the samurai always had a high standing look over these people, right? They always saw them as the head honchos, and it came down to the record of being that nigga activity. The case of Tozen and thy Emperor's champion, he or she banging out with Apollyon being able to stand strongly against someone like that, who again is higher than Tozen, what is being said in skill, who rocks with Raider, who is very also skilled. That shows a lot. So the consistency stands strong about one holding up a great deal of power and at the same time skill, and also credit in case matter battle IQ, with the credit of this standing so tall and the multiple cases of skill regard to where she easily is out here again dominating these multi-case people and boom ridiculous in speed, you know. So yeah, Apollyon, she a badass. Shorty is a girl that your boyfriend told you not to worry about. She do not discriminate. She eliminates. She dominate. It don't matter what is being said. So, in conclusion, when it comes down to the case of who would win, I hope that is obvious from the case of the talk, the little case matter screenshots of showcasings, the scaling put together, and possibly just by peeking account for what I said in the case of my Apollyon versus Warmonger video. I'm sorry for multi-case referencing. This is a strong sense reference if you wanted to get another taste of possibly a strong sense stance scale, especially against someone that's trying to be like Apollyon, but it's found super hard. You is not her, shorty. Apollyon easily wins. I think that it will be a close fight in the grand scope, right? Because account of how much Holden Cross has grown, the record of his different matter of skill set, right? That Apollyon would have never seen because of how much of different stuff that he has took from all these inconsistent people that he's trained with and being so dynamic with his stuff. But Apollyon is very knowledgeable. She has arguably way better raw record of experience. In the case of her fighting, she has a better tick for take scale against others. Her skill, I would say, easily is more superb regardless of what someone like Holden did. And I feel like just because Holden has been with these other people, knows different matter of skills and this and that, does not deplete Apollyon's skill in comparison, because she simply put has just showcased that she has greater record of skill by scaling above Tozen. Right, scaling to the Emperor's Champion, who again is also above Tozen, and being the final boss of the game and being stamped as the woman that everybody would have to collectively plan and prepare the greatest matter of fucking violation to possibly defeat, and the Emperor's Champion again being dead even Afro versus that one dude in Afro Samurai Resurrection like shit. She was just stamping her foot down each time, rocking with her, even being on the case of the back foot and making the person get tired. And that's way better stance of scaling than holding cross. And so if you would say that he just wins off of that, I feel like that's just dishonest. I feel like her armor is better strong, so especially we're talking base armor for Gryphon. I feel like even with his different asses and different stuff, I don't think it really matters. And he scales to Astra, that's cool. That's not a bad case of matter of like feet in comparison, but Astra, she's not on the same level as Apollyon. I've already proved that in the case of my video. No one thinks that generally. She doesn't have a strong kind of scaling in her record of stuff, and her greatest matter of showcasing a matter of power is through Dragonet, which is a magic case weapon that triggers a bunch of different case of matter of fantasy regard stuff, and he needed a case of Dragonet himself to be out here full armored with it, to be standing against her to eventually full case beat her. I'm not saying that he doesn't have a strong matter of skill tied with the case of something that is in this base equipment. I'm just saying he never showcased consistently by what the front lore gives us, which is not a lot, truly. Because we're talking about case of matter events that happened in 2020 to 2021. That's been a minute ago. This man has not really stat anything of strong sense to be near her skill in any sense. So I think in a random counter, even with them both knowing each other in this instance, will be very cinematic, cool, and they even arguably in some credit. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's going to get fought, but I don't think he's going to really stand strong sense against this nigga. You know what I'm saying? Right? Because Apollyon is just built different. So she's gonna violate this man. It's gonna be a smidge of like credit of what possibly Luke Skywalker at his greatest would be like against Anakin, but because someone like Apollyon is like Anakin in this record in a sense, and it's so much more vast in the overall form of play, she would just bop this man multiple times most of the time. And I feel like just with her sword skill, her armor, the case of her versatility, her very unique sense of fighting style, and just how strong since she is on most time going about the case matter to kill, and doesn't have to prove a point, even though I don't think she was holding back or playing around with Emperor's Champion to the last bit, because she was dying, because again the Emperor's Champion was able to blitz, kill her, and run through her in multi-case of the ways, even being strong since dead even in contention with each other. She still outplayed her in that same sensitive situation when she again was getting tired. The fucking castle was breaking, different case of matter, the building was falling down, hitting them, and the fact that Apollyon had home field advantage, even though that's not really a strong sense of like a upper form against the Emperor's Champion, because it's a simple kind of a duel, right? But the Emperor's Champion was outworking almost every capability that Apollyon tried to do. So yeah, I mean, I just think Apollyon wins. Now, if this was a preparated battle and he had prep time, he might have a little sense of a chance, but I don't think he would do that much strong more different. With that being said, as his prep time, depending on the case of what he would do in Grand Up, would be either just to where, yeah, it might hurt Apollyon just being even playing, but it wouldn't be something so solid enough to where it would dismantle every sense of the matter of how gameplay with things and or to count of what she showcased from the lore and strategic planning. And even like I say, he pulled out catapult, got a multi-run of different cases of archers, whatever. So then that would be really striking a new case of annihilation sense on Apollyon, because she can't prepare for all full of that, right? And these characters aren't faster than the count of these different things that have been shown, right? And even by credit gameplay, because I think she could just dodge crossbow in general, even not having to be like baseline subsonic. She's not going to be standing against kind of a man that's rocking with a catapult, multi-case spears, fucking arrows, anything of that sort. So she would get dominated right then and there. He would just fucking Leonidas this shawty in this case instance. Like, she would get this round through, bro. It would be a fucking rogue sense over again, bro. It would be dunzo. But yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Hope you guys have enjoyed. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace and army. Let me know what y'all think. Love y'all.